Welcome back, Heat Seekers. It's week 16, semifinals of most fantasy leagues, and we only got 1 week left after this one. But Bryce, how did your teams do last week? How many teams you got going into the semifinals this week?
Horrible. It all went horrible. I have none left. A lot of Mike Evans, a lot of Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Mike Evans. So yeah, that'll tell you how my week went. Jamar Chase. So I barely broke 100 in pretty much all my leagues, and I'm out for the rest of it. But I got at least some friends I'm gonna cheer on, like Rick here, I guess. I'll cheer him on the Grand Prix. I like the underdog at this point because he has half of his team out, unfortunately. But that's how it went for me. But I'm still here to help. So Sully, how are your leagues going?
I think I entered last week in about 8 playoffs. I think I'm down to 6. I didn't have a good week last week either. I have a bunch of Jamar Chase on my rosters and a lot of Mike Evans and things like that. At one league where I average about 130 points a week, I scored 65 last week, but I got lucky because it's a 2-week playoff matchup, so I might be able to pull that out. But for the most part, I'm hanging in there. COVID's kind of kicking me in the butt like everybody else, but what are you going to do? You just had to start Nyheim Hines last night in the league, which makes me kind of sick, but is what it is. Matt, how are you doing?
I am down to 4 teams out of 8 playoff teams that made it. And we're going to need some lady luck on our side today. I'd also like to formally apologize to everyone that started T. Higgins last week, because I started him out a lot of places as well, and it did not go well for me. Rick, you have a big matchup with how many people out in our Roto Heat Grand Prix League?
Yeah, my team that has been the high score out of 12 teams, 3 out of the last 4 weeks, scored like 190 last week. What did you guys score? Like 110?
Yeah, we did.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just putting it into perspective. Half of that roster that started last week is now out this week. So my playoff chances there are very slim if Matt Clayton is watching. And but my other one, I lost Lenny Fournette in that one, but I got Antonio Brown back, so that's a pretty even swap. Everybody else's that I would start is COVID free, so that one's all right. It hurts for COVID to come in and wreck your rosters like that. Obviously, 2 of them were injuries. I lost James Conner and Lenny Fournette to their injuries, but then Jared Goff, Brandon Cooks, and Travis Kelce out with COVID. Stings pretty bad when that piles up, but what are you going to do?
I'd also like to say hello to Matt Clayton. He knocked me out of 2 $250 leagues last week.
Making a lot of friends today, Matt. Good job.
I do. It also that the T. Higgins thing that you mentioned, somebody was in here asking about Tyler Boyd last week, and we picked the other players over them, and they were upset that Tyler Boyd went off. And one thing to remember is that you got to remember it's process over results. Mm-hmm. We don't know exactly what these people are going to score, else we would feel better about our playoff chances than we do right now. We're in the same boat as you guys.
Has Tyler Boyd ever had a 50-yard touchdown prior to that? I mean, whoever in their mind is thinking that Tyler Boyd's going to have a long touchdown, So
I think the funniest thing of all that is that's the first thing I thought of is we kind of shit all over Tyler Boyd last week, and then I was like, okay.
He's the only player on that team that did good. Like Jamar Chase had, I think T. Higgins did better than Jamar Chase.
He did. Chase had like 1.5 points. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what? Mixon was at like 7 or 8 points or something.
Yeah.
So that whole offense did not do very well outside of Tyler Boyd, which is obviously the one that we did kind of poo all over.
Yeah.
It happens.
Rob has our first question. Pick 1, PPR. Need the upside. Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, Jalen Waddle, or Hunter Renfrow.
Bryce. You don't even have to talk. We know Bryce is
come on.
I'm pretty sure we know yours.
So Bryce is
the upside's there too. And the floor. I'm taking Waddle.
I
feel like no matter what, you're going to pick wrong. These are all good options. I'll go Waddle as well. It kind of scares me that the whole offense is healthy, but So I don't know that he'll get quite the volume that you maybe need him to for the upside, but he's such a good playmaker. I'll go Waddle. Rick?
Somebody in our team chat made a pretty good point that with these close situations, you might want to start the guy that doesn't have COVID.
Yeah,
And with Waddle playing Monday night, you're taking a little bit of a risk, especially with how many people we see dropping. And I think Miles Sanders right now, with the way Philly is running their offense, has a pretty solid floor and ceiling, as long as he stays healthy. We've seen a couple weeks where he started off real hot and then had to leave the game, but I do like Waddle the most. I think he's got the combination of being the safest play out of this group with the amount of targets that he gets with that upside. But that would be the only caveat, is if you want to make sure you don't run into a Monday failed COVID test from him, I would probably go Miles Sanders on the other side.
Yeah, I have Waddle in there right now. I think that, it's a guillotine league that I'm down to the final three, and the guys I'm playing against have started Deebo Samuel and guys like that. I have Jonathan Taylor and Aaron Jones that went yesterday and did really nothing compared to what they should. So I'm up against it. I have Waddle in there right now, and if I make a move, it's going to be for Miles Sanders, but I just don't know what to do. So I'll probably just ride it out with Waddle and blame Bryce if I lose.
That sounds good.
Fair enough.
Be on the same boat as me now.
Craig says, morning, fellas. I need a tight end from Hunter, Higbee, and O'Shaughnessy, and then a flex from those leftovers: Bolden, Mike Davis, Lat Murray, Marvin, and Myers. Matt, we'll start with you on this one. Which tight end are you starting?
I will probably go Hunter Henry, and then is Brandon Bolden playing? He's been questionable all week.
I have to see the outs again. I checked it yesterday. I know Ramondre Stevenson's out. Is Damian
Harris playing?
still out?
I think Harris is in.
I think he's in.
Stevens is out. Harris is in.
Yes. I'm pretty sure Brandon Bolden is in as well.
I don't hate Bolden.
He's probably got a decent little 10-point.
Yeah, I'll go Henry, Hunter Henry, and Bolden. If Bolden plays, if Bolden doesn't play, then I'll go Marvin Jones. Sully?
I have a hard time leaning on Patriots here. I don't know if they're going to try to beat them with 3 passes again like they did the last time, but I'll probably go with Higbee here. I don't think the Vikings pose much of a danger for him here. He could probably score a touchdown. I kind of like Jacoby Myers, even though I don't really like the Patriots with, they're down just to Bourne and Myers, I believe, in a passing game. So it would be either Bolden or Myers for me in the flex, and I'll go with Jacoby. How about you, Mr. Patriot?
Hunter Henry is the easy one for me here. I just think when I'm going with tight ends, I'm going to go with the one I think that has the most touchdown upside, and we've seen Hunter Henry get in the end zone a ton this year, out of probably the most on that team when it comes to people catching the ball. And then out of the leftovers, I don't like going with 2 Patriots either here, so I'll probably go with Marvin Jones Jr. with Jacoby Myers, my second choice, not far behind. So Henry and Marvin Jones Jr. for me. Rick?
I agree. Hunter Henry's the easy play here for me at tight end. You said everything else that needs to be said about him, but I'm going different than everybody else. I'm going Mike Davis versus Detroit.
That's a good call.
Mike Davis has been he's been way more involved the past few weeks. I just don't feel comfortable. I don't even know that Marvin Jones is the number 1 wide receiver right now. Laquan Treadwell has been out targeting him in that Jags offense. And then you never know what you're going to get from Patriot running backs, period.
True.
Period. So it would be Mike Davis or Myers for me.
Henry just has to score, because if he doesn't, he's useless.
Right. No, very true. But that's most tight ends.
That is also true.
Outside of Andrews and, obviously Kelsey's out. So
don't remind
Kittle
me.
already played and pooped the bed, didn't get in the end zone. that's just the tight end position. I like his touchdown upside better than both the other ones there. Myers and Mike Davis are the ones that I would be choosing from, but I just think that, like you said, if they do only throw the ball even 15 times, right? That weather was crazy in the last matchup.
For sure.
Then I feel like Mike Davis's touches he's getting versus the Lions are just safer and more valuable in that scenario. So Hunter and Davis for me, but we've got Hunter and Bolden. We've got Higbee and Myers and Hunter and Marvin.
Yeah.
So
good luck, Craig.
We really cleared it up for you. Marco S. here every Sunday morning. Thank you very much. Guten Morgen. Should I start Jay Jackson or Rashad Penny? Half PPR. Sully.
Jackson all day, easy, not even close for me against Houston, and he looked pretty darn good when he carried the ball. So all day. Bryce?
Speaking of Penny, Sully, you were wrong last week. Barkley outscored him.
Oh, Sully was wrong. No surprise there. I don't even want to hear that list. Throw that book in the garbage.
I'm sorry, Sully, but you lost all of your bets.
I figured.
All five of them.
Cool. Answer the question. Move on. Let's go.
Justin, you're correct on this one. That it's Justin Jackson by a mile for me as well. Matt.
Yeah, I love Justin Jackson this week. He's one of my favorite plays at running back. Rick, same.
Man, I love how emphatic you guys are about Justin Jackson, but every time he gets this exact opportunity, he poops the bed.
Not in
and
this
I
matchup,
just don't
he doesn't.
trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust Rashad Penny either. But I'm not excited about it, but I'm going Justin Jackson.
Jackson's going to catch the football more than Penny would too, so the half point helps him as well.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that we're going to see more Joshua Kelly than people anticipate.
Probably
in that matchup. So I'm picking him here, but I'm just not excited to start either of these.
Is Hicks in for you?
Hicks is out with COVID, I believe.
Well, then that makes Penny a little bit more attractive.
It does make him a little more attractive, but I still, Justin Jackson, he's going to get to work. You would think, but we shouldn't have to be picking between these guys in the playoffs. Freaking COVID. That's Marco's problem here is COVID.
I think Jackson's floor is just safer, and he has the ceiling because of the offense he's in. So it just seems like it makes more sense to play him.
And he's their goal line back after Kelly's pathetic.
They love throwing it to the running back.
Yeah, I'm definitely not arguing that Justin Jackson is the play here. I'm just not.
The play is Austin Eckler, but unfortunately it's not.
Right.
I think Jackson's a really good play. I think he's 10-point floor, 25-point ceiling.
He's one of my DFS guys this week, so why not?
Yeah, I think he's like the free square in DFS. He's too cheap.
Marco also said, hope that we all had a great Christmas. Thank you very much. And same to you, Peter. Another one that's here every Sunday. I like seeing these names coming back in the playoffs. Hopefully we've helped throughout the year. Good morning, gentlemen. Need this playoff win after my opponent played Kyler Edmonds Chubb already. Ooh. I need to sit either Treadwell or Emmanuel Sanders, half-point PPR, half-point per first down. Bryce, which one you going with?
Wow. I'll be honest, these are two guys I haven't paid a lot of attention to, but from what I've heard from Rick has spoke of them like potentially being the number one on that team, but also I know that Gabe Davis is out this week, and he's been really involved in Emmanuel Sanders.
And Beasley.
Wow. I'm probably going to – it's a tough – Emmanuel Sanders plays the best pass defense this week. I'm going to go with Treadwell. I could see Emmanuel Sanders potentially putting up less than 5 points today. I don't think New England does very well at stopping Diggs today. They're going to try, but they haven't been successful, weather permitting. So I'm going to go with Treadwell and assume the Bills have to run that offense through Diggs this afternoon. Matt?
I think I have to go Sanders. I don't really love playing Sanders, but with Beasley and with Gabe Davis out, yeah, I'm gonna go Sanders here. Right.
I'm going Treadwell. This is half point PPR, but in PPR, he has scored at least 10 points the last 3 weeks without a touchdown. He is just getting volume in that Jaguars offense. They get the Jets this week. I will take Treadwell versus the Jets over Emmanuel Sanders versus the Pats. And that number one pass defense, like Bryce said. But it is definitely one that could go either way. And how is it that it took Treadwell like 5 seasons to get to his best stretch he's ever had?
Because he sucks.
With a bad quarterback.
Wasn't Tyler Lockett kind of like that? Like, didn't he start like 3 or 4 years kind of just meh? And then
And Robert Woods too. Woods
Well,
in Buffalo.
and Lockett took off when I can't remember who it is, got hurt and then retired. Who was Seattle's best wide receiver?
Baldwin.
That's when he took off. But Treadwell's kind of like Agnew, right? Like nobody liked Agnew for 5 weeks while he was putting up numbers like crazy, and now Treadwell's getting targets all over the place. But Buffalo leans more on Singletary this week, I think, with those two guys out.
I think they
and
got to,
Knox gets a lift, and I don't want anything to do with.
Let's go Singletary.
I don't want anything. I don't want anything to do with Emmanuel Sanders coming back off of injury against that defense. So no thanks.
Yeah.
CB says, hi, guys. Need a flex PPR. Gallup, Zeke, Justin Jackson, Ronald Jones, or Hunter Renfrow. Sully, which one you flexing?
I think I'm flexing Zeke. I think we're probably getting a little carried away here, but I will say that Ronald Jones, as much as it pains me to admit, really has a nice opportunity here and would be my second choice. But I will go with Ezekiel Elliott. Matt, what are you doing here?
Bryce, you go first.
You're about to look at numbers. That's what I was about to do. I'm probably gonna go. I'm probably gonna go Zeke as well. With floor, you could probably, if you needed a ceiling, you could change your answer. And I still don't know who I'd choose for that. But Zeke, a lot of people have been crapping on him this year, but he's still been pretty productive. He's just not top 5 like people want him to be. But I believe he's still top 10, at least top 12. Yep. He's on the field every week. He seems like even if he's hurt, he's out there. Reliable guy. You can almost guarantee if Dallas gets within the 5-yard line, he's getting at least a touch or two. So he's got that touchdown upside. So those are the reasons I'll lean Zeke. I'd probably put Renfrow in I'm sorry. I don't know who I'd put in for a ceiling play. Maybe you guys can expand on that, but it's Zeke fairly easy for me just because of the certainty. Matt?
I think the ceiling play is probably Rojo, and that really scares me. But I'm gonna go Renfrow here.
He's got no floor though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If he fumbles his first carry, he's done.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like Keyshawn Vaughn this week.
Lev Bell comes in.
I missed all this Rojo hype. But I think here I'm going to go Renfrow. But I've considered Justin Jackson. That's how much I like him this week. And I don't think the hate's going too far on Zeke at this point. Zeke does not look great and does not get the volume that he used to when he was a fantasy stud. So, I'll go Renfrow here. Rick, what about you?
It pains me, but it's Ronald Jones. It's Ronald Jones, and I hate saying it. Sully was watching. I was on the Front Yard Fantasy show tiering running backs the other day, and Ronald Jones was one of my must starts. I believe he's going to get a ton of work in an offense that has high touchdown upside. And, as much as I don't like him, as long as he doesn't fumble, he could easily have a 20 to 25 point day in that offense. And
you remember who he had the huge game against last year when he broke one for 85 yards and was watching the guy in the scoreboard behind him?
Carolina's run defense was horrific last year, though.
It was.
Like, they were epically bad. At one point, I think they had given up multiple rushing touchdowns, like 8 straight weeks, which was like the longest time since like the 80s or something. But yeah, I mean, it's that all that work Lenny was getting, because Ronald Jones is going to get it in the pass game too. unless he messes up, which is also not out of the question. But I'm gonna play. I think he's the best start out of this group for sure. And it makes me sick. Everybody that's been paying attention for the last 3 years knows how much I do not care for Ronald Jones. Every time I pick him, he makes me look bad, if that tells you anything. Good morning,
I'm kind of
fellas.
surprised because you were a Keyshawn Vaughn guy too, so I'm kind of surprised that you're so bullish on Jones.
Well, Ronald Jones is the guy there, though. Like, I can't dispute that just because I like a player. I mean, I wish.
Vaughn got some work last week. Vaughn got utilized a little bit last week.
I'm not gonna lie. I want Rojo to fumble the first snap and for Keyshawn Vaughn to go for about 130 and 2 today. I'll be the happiest guy in the world. And I don't even have him in any of my lineups, but it's what I want to happen.
I mean, I would be very happy for that as well. I have 0 Ronald Jones to play this week in my fantasy in my playoff teams, but I just think that he's a good start in this offense and the other factor is no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, obviously Antonio Brown back, but the run game is more important to them now than it has been all year. Castillo says, good morning, fellas. I have a wide receiver running back spot that I'm in dilemma about. DK is currently in, but have Pollard, Jacobs, Parker, Boyd, Palmer, and Gallup. Who do I start? I lost Fournette, who would be my usual starter. Matt, you're first. Don't pass it.
I don't want to play DK, but I probably have to over this group. I like Palmer this week a lot. I guess I'll go DK. He's still seeing volume, so I'll go DK. What about you, Sully?
DK Metcalf. Don't overthink it, Castile. Just do it. Bryce?
Yeah, I'm probably going DK Metcalf as well. He was getting a lot more involved last week with Lockett out, though. I don't think Josh Jacobs is a bad play here either. I think they play the Broncos.
He would be my second choice for sure.
I really am not too familiar how good the Broncos run defense is.
It's pretty good.
Is it? So yeah, I'll probably go with DK Metcalf. But if you really want a safer floor, I mean, Josh Jacobs probably is guaranteed to at least probably get you almost like 10 points minimum.
There was a ton of talk out of Seattle about getting DK more involved, and this past week, and those squeaky wheel things usually pay off, in my opinion. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, I can tell you this: the Chicago Bears defense, with it looking like Akeem Hicks is out, as far as I know, our entire secondary is out again. I don't know if people realize it didn't look like it versus the Vikings. I don't know what your Vikings were doing, but
can't play Kirk Cousins every week.
Literally. 5 of our defenders in the secondary last week were called up from the practice squad that day. Jalen Johnson out, Vildor out, Burns out, Jackson out. Like, it was just all a hodgepodge of guys. And they played well that game. I don't think the same thing's happening 2 weeks in a row. Obviously, I think if Thielen would have been in the game last week, that would have helped the Vikings a lot. I'm playing DK again, and Akeem Hicks is out. It looks like, so that pass rush like takes a big hit with them not having to pay attention to Akeem Hicks. So Russ Wilson might cook.
Please God, let him cook.
Ryan N says, "Hey guys, I need high ceiling plays. 2 flex, 0.5 PPR. Pick 2: Odell, Damian Harris, Goddard, Claypool, Penny." Sully.
I think the ceiling plays here. One is Dallas Goedert, because I could see him scoring 2 or 3 times. And the other one, I believe, is probably based on volume. I'd probably lean Damian Harris here, provided he's healthy and ready to go.
Bryce.
I'll have to disagree with Sully. I don't think any Patriot running back has ceiling. But Goddard is the easy one. If Damian Harris was more involved in the pass game, it would be easily him. But I think, as we talked about earlier, Brandon Bolden comes in for that work. The answer should be Claypool, but it's not. I guess if I'm thinking ceiling, I want to go with a guy that I think has potential 2 touchdown upside. And it's going to be Goddard and Odell. I don't like how Odell's not on the field enough, in my opinion, but he is in there in the red zone and he does get targeted. So I'll go.
You don't think Harris has 2 touchdown upside?
Not
with
against the Bills.
Ramondre out?
Not against the Bills. I almost would think that Bolden has a higher ceiling than Damian Harris just because
Really,
of
hey?
pass game work. Yeah, I mean, they never get him involved. When he catches the ball, he doesn't look bad. So I don't know why he doesn't get more involved in the pass game.
You can run all over Buffalo.
Yeah, I just don't know if.
I mean, I don't know that you can run all over Buffalo. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think you can. I think we've
pretty
seen
sure
it.
they're top
3 of the
5
last,
in.
But 3 of the last 4 weeks, they've been bludgeoned on the ground.
They have been getting beat up on the ground. I mean, Damian Harris does have that 2 touchdown upside too, but I'll go Odell. It's not.
I like Odell.
Easy. I think Goddard's your easy ceiling play here. The rest of these guys are not great, but yeah, I'll go those 2. Matt,
I'll go Goddard, and it should be Claypool, but his floor is so low that I don't think I can play him.
Yeah.
So I would go Odell.
I mean, do we think Odell's floor is any different than Claypool's? Would be my question.
Yeah, I guess after
he had his worst week. He had his
true.
worst week with the team. I mean, outside of the first week where he came like 3 days before their first game, this past week was his worst week. And outside of that, I mean, I feel like he's put up like 10 plus every time. So
he's
I
he had a touchdown in those 3 games.
No,
he's got a great matchup.
It's a trend. It's a trend, right? So I mean, if he's almost scoring a touchdown every week, and
nobody gives up more to the wide receiver than the Vikings, so he's got that going for him too.
But that game could be a blowout so fast that they don't even have to pass the whole fourth quarter.
As long as Cooper Kupp scores 6 times this week, I don't care.
Well, yeah, but if they get to the point where they're not throwing in the fourth quarter, then they put up a bunch of points, and if he gets that share of it, it ain't gonna matter.
Somebody had to get him there. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm so tired of
probably
seeing
Cooper Kupp
go for 40.
I mean, for me, like, I understand the Goddard thing, but it's so hard for me to say that he's got the highest ceiling here.
I just go straight off of who I think has the best chance to score, and that's why I went with Goddard and Harris.
Yeah,
they have been getting him a lot more involved the last 2 weeks because he had a stretch of not so good stretch there.
Absolutely true.
Let's see, he is tight end 4. Oh, no, I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking here. 1 second. PPR. For some reason, last week's not in there. But
did you guys see that Cooper Kupp is averaging more points or more yards and targets per game now than he did in his last year in high school?
Jesus,
isn't that insane?
When is the Matt Stafford? Here, let me answer this question.
Okay.
Goddard and Odell. This is where I'm going as well. I do think it should be Odell and Claypool. But
who do the Steelers have this week?
I don't know if it.
They're at Kansas City.
I don't like Claypool at all.
If you guys watch, Claypool's not on the field very much either. Like, they've been putting out the second and third string wide receiver.
That's what scares me about him.
He'll sit on the bench. I don't know if it's because he's not there mentally with what's going on in the game, or if he's got an attitude problem. But I saw many times in that game where remember I had to ask if he was hurt because he was on the field for like 2 drives, and then he comes in and does nothing. And they got the Chiefs this week.
Yeah, I don't like that matchup, and I don't like his usage, and I don't like so many things with Chase Claypool. I was the guy at the beginning of the season said if he doesn't score, he's going to be useless, and if he doesn't score, he's useless.
That is true. You did. You were not on that Claypool wagon.
Canadian. What are you going to do?
Brian says, "Do I play Hurts or Josh Allen?"
It's easy for me. I'm playing Hurts.
Really?
If I got 2 quarterbacks with rushing upside, and one's playing the best defense against the pass, and the other one is playing the Giants, I'm going to go with the guy that's playing the Giants rather easily here for me. But to be fair, both of these teams also are in kind of must wins. Like, they're kind of sitting in that area where if they lose, they could lose their playoff spot. The Eagles are right in the bubble, 7-7. I think I believe they're 8-6, or I can't remember, but they're all close to playoffs.
They are 7-7, and they're in that bubble with New Orleans, Minnesota, Washington, and themselves.
So, yeah, both these teams could be playing like really playing to win this week more than other weeks. So, yeah, Matt.
I like Josh Allen a lot more if he had Cole Beasley and Gabe Davis. I'll probably go Hurts just because of everyone around him's healthy, and he seems to have such a safe floor. I'll go Hurts. Sully, did you already pick one, Sully?
No, they're back to back in my rankings. I currently have Allen one spot ahead of Hurts, and I'm going to stick with that. It's just the better quarterback, and he can run, he can score, he can do all those things, and it doesn't help that he has those two wide receivers out. But at the same time, if they have any chance of beating New England whatsoever, he has to be heavily involved. So I'm going that way. Rick?
I will say this. Josh Allen averages 24.2 points per game. Jalen Hurts averages 22.4, so we got about a 1.8 difference there. When you look at defenses, New England gives up 11.58 points to the quarterback per week.
Yep.
And the Giants give up 17.16. So Giants are actually back half of the or top half of the league in points to quarterbacks. So it's not like they're terrible, but I think I go Jalen Hurts here. I just think that it's a safer play because we do know that Patriots can shut down Josh Allen, and it's not like we're going to somebody that's not a fantasy stud, right? Jalen Hurts is a fantasy stud, whether you like him as an NFL quarterback or not. Similar to Josh Allen early in his career, where he was a fantasy stud, but people didn't really care for him as an NFL quarterback. So
Matt Breida's out.
Come on, Devin Singletary.
Yeah,
come on. I need you, boy.
That's what I told you that for.
Swift is officially out, and Thielen is officially in.
Jamal Williams, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, Jamal Williams. All my backups that I got to play this week are.
I need Thielen to be Thielen today in a big bad way.
Jamal Williams probably will get what's his name? Singleton, Craig
Reynolds or
Reynolds. He's gonna get Reynolds. This is what's gonna happen. Jamal Williams isn't gonna get no play.
I like
Reynolds.
getting Craiged better.
Craig. He's getting Craig. He already got fired on his day off.
I still haven't gotten over those Jameer Jefferson starts from a couple of weeks ago that got me the big donut.
Oh, and the what's his name? The other one that we don't even know his name.
There you go.
Pick 2 also between Madison, Jacobs, and Kamara. Kamara, just quit being cute. I'm going Madison. Kamara and Madison. Matt.
Same. Kamara and Madison pretty easily. Sully?
Who's Vegas play? On vacation. Broncos?
Yep.
So Kamara without a doubt.
Yeah.
I will reluctantly say Madison, but he's been known to poop his pants in these opportunities before.
And I think they're starting to get in Nwangu a little more involved too.
And Thielen back is a huge piece for that offense. They're going to have to throw all day because the Rams are probably going to score like at will. But I'll reluctantly go Madison over Jacobs, but that's really close for me.
Bryce.
It's Kamara and Madison, but I mean Madison has done it in the past. But I feel like this year when Cook is out, he's been pretty solid. I'll give him some credit this year, but he I guess he's due to poop his pants, as Sully said. So
due to poop his pants. Thomas says, "Merry Christmas, guys. Sully is now a year older. Does that mean we should trust him even less, or does he actually get wiser age?"
I will refer you to Bryce's bets book from earlier.
Yeah. There's a lot of circles, and none of them are on Sully.
Thomas says, that aside, pick 2, half PPR, Miles Sanders, Jalen Waddle, Antonio Brown, Amari Cooper. Bryce.
I'll go Brown and Waddle. Brown and Waddle here. Antonio Brown might get 15 targets today. He's the only healthy guy that Brady's pretty familiar with outside of Gronk. I'll go with those two. Sully.
Not answering. Thomas, go screw yourself.
Waddle and Brown for me as well.
Is he playing you? Sully?
No, I'm not in any. I'm not in any Danish leagues, so I don't have to worry about that.
It's hard for me to sit Miles Sanders right now.
It's
really
hard to sit
for me
Miles
sit
Sanders
Miles
and Amari Cooper. Honestly, I mean,
Well, it's
yeah,
easy to sit Amari Cooper if you have him.
Yeah,
Amari Cooper's far behind the other three for me, and I'm forced.
Yeah,
to
they
play him in
all
a league,
have a
so
solid
we're
floor.
hoping.
That's the one thing. Amari Cooper might have the highest ceiling out of these four,
Mhm.
but he also has the lowest floor.
Yes, I would agree.
I think I go Miles Sanders and Antonio Brown. But
if I was going to answer, I would say the exact same thing.
I wouldn't argue Waddle and Brown either, but I mean, I trust Tom Brady more than Tua, even though Tua's been a lot better. And then I just like the touches Sanders is getting right now at running back. So that's where I'm at. But like I said, Jalen Waddle's like right there. It's not like he's not in the conversation. But I'll take the other two. Marco says yes, COVID and Mitchell isn't playing. Mike Davis or Rex Burkhead? Is anybody taking Rex Burkhead over Mike Davis?
No.
Nope. We're all on the Mike Davis side of this.
I think he's asking because it was ruled that David Johnson was out, so Burkhead's role took up a little bit, but I would still go Davis.
You guys had a major part in me making the playoffs and winning my last week's matchup by 1.3 points. Who should I start in my flex? Josh Reynolds, Ty Johnson, Rashad Penny, or Palmer?
I think that's Tyler. I would assume that's Tyler Johnson.
Oh, Tyler Johnson?
Yeah, probably.
Sully. That dog likes your fantasy takes about as much as the crowd.
I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm going Josh Reynolds versus Atlanta. That's where I'm going with this one. I'm Josh. Goff's out.
I will go with it's Palmer or Penny for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is Keenan out? Is Wyatt or
I'm going.
Is Mike
Williams is out?
Mike Williams
is out. I think it's Guyton and Williams both, right?
No, Guyton's okay.
I'm going Palmer.
Isn't he? Or is he out?
Okay.
I don't know.
I definitely want Palmer.
Man, there's 180 players that are on COVID.
The volume, the safest path to volume is Rashad Penny here for me. Hicks is out. The Bears are hurting. That's who I'm going to go with. Is Penny. If it wasn't Penny, it'd be Palmer for a home run play because he's probably going to get at least one.
Yeah, I think it's Palmer pretty easily here. He's got a good quarterback behind him. He should see a ton of volume. It's a fast-paced offense. Unless Eckler and Williams being out just hurts the offense that much. But I think Palmer's talented. I think Justin Jackson's talented enough. Absolutely.
I'll take Penny. You take Palmer? $5 bet. I got to get off the schneid here.
Yeah, okay. I'm in on that.
Cool.
You got a lot more bets to make, then.
Settle down, you.
Hey, listen. Palmer is a guy I've had stashed on like a lot of taxi squads this year, and he, when I do get to watch them when he's on the field, which isn't very much when they're fully healthy, he makes some plays. And the one week that he got a decent amount of playing time, he dropped like I believe 15 to 17 points. He can catch. He's got good route running, good strong hands. I think he's going to be a bigger part of this offense next year. That being said, with him getting the opportunity again, I think he seizes that. So I will also go Palmer. It would be Josh Reynolds if Jared Goff was playing, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I've got to switch with David Blau, right? He's going to be the starter, right?
I think it's Tim Boyle.
Oh wow! I mean,
what
is going on? We got Jake Fromm starting. We got freaking Tim Boyle starting. We got Josh Johnson starting. What is
Kirk
going
Cousins?
On?
I mean, it's bad.
Oh, hey, settle down.
I don't trust Rashad Penny. So I can't go there. Not that I have a lot of trust in any of these guys. But I'll go with Palmer as well, but it's
to me it's between Palmer and Tyler Johnson, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think Tyler Johnson might be a decent play, but he's been on the field so much this year and he hasn't done anything, so it scares me away from him. With AB coming back, I think a lot of AB.
I think AB coming back.
Scotty Miller into that.
could be Scotty
I'm starting
Miller.
Scotty Miller in a league.
They could run
know.
double.
I think Miller's the play.
They could run more double tight ends with all three of their tight ends rotating in and out.
Yep.
It's hard to trust the secondary pieces in that offense. Gronk, Brown, and then
Say it.
everything else is hit or miss in that. So I'll go Palmer. Man, this sucks, man. And this is what, like, with the leagues I run, this is what I was trying to avoid last week, right? This, to have to make these decisions because of COVID in the playoffs just sucks. This isn't what we build. You build rosters, and it's not, if it's dynasty, it's not even just this year, right? Like a lot of the ones I'm running, people have been building for 2 to 6 years, and then this happens, and it's just
Dynasty. It's not as bad because if you're building it right, you can get some depth. You can have good depth pieces and be able to not have these like atrocious decisions. But I mean, I don't think Palmer's that bad of an option this week.
then.
I'm not either. Then, jeez.
Hey,
I suck.
I mean,
one
not
of
all
the
my
highest-
teams have depth, but the ones that are in it, I mean, I have a decent option. Not all of them. I mean, I'm starting Scotty Miller today. I'm not.
I one of the
Well, yeah,
highest
but, I
scoring
mean,
teams in our
sometimes you lose-
Superflex 96, and I started Naeem Hines last week.
Sometimes you lose half your starters.
Right.
That takes a lot of depth to fill in without
Very
poopy.
This is fantasy football is like playing
Poopy,
roulette.
poopy,
this week.
I'm so mad. I'm so sad. I'm so everything. So many emotions. Miles Sanders, Justin Jackson, or Amon Ross St. Brown. This is easily Miles Sanders for me. Bryce, where you go?
Yeah, it's Miles Sanders, but man, I really do love Amon-Ra St. Brown. He has been stepping up lately, and seems like he has great floor and ceiling play. But Miles Sanders is still safer, way safer.
But Tim Boyle is what he
True.
meant to
True,
say.
you're right.
But
Okay, thank you.
there's Tim
Miles Sanders
Boyle
makes it
in
way
this
better.
equation.
True, thank you.
Sully.
I love how we have passively aggressively declared that Jared Goff's a good quarterback.
He's all
But
right.
this is Justin Jackson for me, and it's actually pretty easy.
I am with Sully. I didn't think
I'll
I'd be
take
the
that
one. I didn't
Okay,
think
I'll
anyone
take
else
that
would
too.
take Justin Jackson
I will
here,
too.
but I will do Justin Jackson here for sure.
I'll
Shit.
take Miles Sanders over
$5 bet, Matt.
Yeah.
Yep, mark it down. Bryce,
All
I
right,
need you
I'll go
to
Matt.
I need you to send me an invoice at the end of the season so I can pay you guys properly. But
It's gonna be hard. I have a running tally. I gotta continue.
don't tell me what it is. I don't want to know right now.
You're not down as much as you think. I don't think.
Good,
You
good.
did pretty well early in the year.
I mean, it's not like you're down $500. You haven't made $100
No.
yet. So, yeah, I'm not saying Jared Goff is good, right? But when it comes to him or Tim Boyle,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
That much
there's,
different?
I do. I think
He's
so.
sometimes like Jared Goff's like he's inconsistent. Some days
played
he
great
looks
last
really
week.
good.
Last week
Yeah.
he looked
Played
awesome.
great.
He looks great, and then other weeks
Yeah.
he looks like he should be a backup. So it's kind of strange.
Foxborough News. That'd be awesome if you were really the Foxborough News. I went on Green Bay News at the beginning of this year. That worked out great. Mike Davis or Craig Reynolds in flex play, 16-man half PPR. DeAndre Swift's out.
Yes.
Are you guys starting Craig Reynolds? He hasn't really been involved in the pass game, has he?
Well, Jamal Williams is back now too, right?
Jamal Williams is back.
Yeah, that makes it Mike Davis for me pretty easy.
It's Mike Davis for me too. But if we're down on the quarterback play, you got to figure the Lions will try to run more than they will throw, and that would probably benefit Reynolds a little bit, who has been really productive on the ground when he's gotten the football. But I'll still go Mike Davis. I think he's a little bit involved in the passing game still, has taken the carries back away from Patterson, and probably has a better chance of scoring. So Mike Davis for me.
Yeah, as bad as Atlanta is, I'm not really interested in taking a split backfield behind Tim Boyle. So I will go Mike Davis here. Rick?
Mike Davis. These guys actually play each other today, and both defenses are horrendous. So yeah, I agree. We don't know. Craig Reynolds has done this with both Williams and Swift out. We don't know. We haven't seen it with one of those two guys available because it was Swift and then Jamal Williams as the number 2. We'll have to see how that plays out, but I'm going Mike Davis as well. I need 2 in full PPR. Madison, Renfro, Pollard, Javonte. The Rams matchup scares me with Madison. Who is this, Bryce?
Joe Kidder.
Joe Kidder. So we'll let Matt answer this one first. 2 in full PPR.
I'll go Renfro and Madison. I wouldn't even consider Pollard. Javonte's close, but yeah, I'm going to go Renfro and Madison. Sully.
That's kind of where I'm going to go, but I do have the same concerns that Joe has with Madison. So if I need a ceiling, I'm going to go with Madison. If it's a floor play I'm looking for, it's going to be Renfro and Javonte. Bryce?
I'm also going to go Madison and Renfro here. Javonte's close with Madison, though. I agree. So, Rick?
I'm going Madison and Javonte.
I don't dislike that.
That's where I'm going with it. Do you know Javante's like 8th in the NFL in rushing yards?
He's number 1 in yards after contact, too.
Yeah, what
He'll
is
be,
number one
he'll be a top 5 back next year.
He's number 1 in my heart, too.
he's good.
Monster.
CB said, "Thank you.
Welcome.
You are
Well,
welcome."
good luck.
Ryan says, "Pick 2: Madison, Ronald Jones, David Montgomery, PPR." This is easily Ronald Jones, David Montgomery for me. Sully.
Sure. It's Ronald Jones and Montgomery, but it could easily be any of the 2 of these 3. So, but I'll agree with you, and I'll go with Rojo's makes me ill and David Montgomery. Bryce?
Yeah, it's Rojo just because of the matchup. I'll say that. If Madison played a weaker defense, it'd easily be him and Montgomery. So I'll agree. Matt?
I'm going to go Madison over Rojo. Madison and Montgomery. I want the guy who I believe is more guaranteed of a workload. And I'm just not positive that Rojo gets to 20 touches, where I think Madison and Montgomery both do.
That's a pretty good point. Cousins is beat up. He missed a bunch of practice this week with some rib problems. So if he can't, and we're not talking about a lightning of a top 10 quarterback here either, but if he's limited, they'll probably lean on the ground game even more. So I don't mind that, Matt. So do I.
Sniffer.
Yeah.
Glue Sniffer. Got it. Glue Sniffer says, "I need help with tight end. Pick 1 tight end. 0.5 PPR. Conklin, Morneau, Seals Jones, or Uzoma.
Uzama.
All kinds of. He's
CJ
out.
Uzomah.
He's out of this equation.
Jeez.
I'll just go early and say Conklin, and it's a homer pick. They're all the same guy to me here.
Waller's still out?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to go Conklin, too.
Yeah, I'll go Conklin. This will be one of those weeks Uzama puts up his 2 touchdowns. Probably, but I'm going to go Conklin. He's definitely safer.
His best game of the year was against Baltimore earlier this year.
And they're terrible against tight end this year, like brutal. So that's not a bad one either.
Yeah.
I'm going Morneau. They just don't have a lot of targets in that offense, and all these guys are the same guy. I'm going to go with the one that doesn't have wide receivers to take them away. That's the hard part about Uzama, right? If they didn't have 3 quality wide receivers, he might be a quality fantasy tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Seals Jones, I just don't trust that offense. Conklin with
DJ Moore is a go, and so is Damian Harris today. They're both in.
What's up, Jay?
Also, I noticed the Patriots, you also have Kendrick Bourne active and Ezekiel Harry in case you really needed to.
It's not that bad yet, is it?
Harry needs to do something.
No.
Like, come on.
What's up, guys? Good luck in your fantasy playoffs, says Jay Wall. Thank you, Jay
about
Wall.
that guy.
Good luck to
Love
you
that
as
guy.
well.
Needs to do the stream with him.
Castile says Renfro, Palmer, or Boyd. Currently have Renfro in.
Keep him in.
Assuming it's PPR, keep him in.
Yeah. Keep him
You
in.
want to say
I like
Palmer, don't you?
though. I do.
Yeah, I know
I
you do.
really do, but I feel like that's just getting too much.
I think Palmer's going to be a
Saturday would
sneaky
be.
guy next year. I think he'll be a sneaky guy next year, Palmer.
The only thing that scares me about Renfro is he feasts on volume, and Denver just doesn't play. And fast-paced games. I mean, that game could be brutal and low-scoring. You know what? I'm going to go
You're
Palmer.
locked today too.
I'm going Palmer.
Like, you know what?
Good
He talked himself
matchup,
into
fast-paced offense. It's going to run a lot of plays. He should have a lot of opportunity.
And
I'll go
once
Palmer.
again, Tyler Boyd, no respect.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Boyd will just go for.
I should just
for
pick
I like
25.
him. I like him second, honestly. over
I should
Palmer.
just pick
I
him.
So do I.
like Boyd.
I should just pick him.
Mhm.
He's gonna have a 50-yard touchdown.
cover
because
cover all of our bases. One person says each name possible.
Not a
We're
bad strategy.
100%. We're 100% on plays this year. I'm going Renfro as well. We got another one from Facebook. Bryce, who we got asking this one?
Jeremy Goldie.
Jeremy Goldie. He's an
Yeah.
asshole. We don't need to answer this one. Full PPR, need a flex. Mike Davis, Burkhead, Callaway.
Davis.
Mike Davis for me. Yeah.
Yeah, David.
Oh, we got
I'm
Ian Book starting. If this was Taysom Hill or really anybody but Ian Book making his first start, I would probably play Callaway here.
That Miami D.
I got some Ian Book rookie cards.
You better sell them this week.
If he goes off,
His sell high moment of his career is before he takes a snap.
I'm going Mike Davis. I think that he could be a serviceable backup spot starter. He's not going to be an everyday starter, but
I want Blake Bortles to get in the game.
why? We already have Josh Johnson on his
'Cause I love
18th
chaos.
comeback tour.
Hey, he looked good this year. He looked better than Zach Wilson.
He looks good when he gets one start and then doesn't have to make the follow.
Today's only one day.
Yeah, but it's a follow up. It's just for a different team this year.
Fair.
Mike Davis. CDA Great 91 says, I have a few questions. Laugh out loud, but I'll just ask two. Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, PPR, and Bucks defense or Miami defense, same format. Thanks. Tyler Lockett.
I'm going Lockett, and I'm going to go Miami defense. Our defense has been playing really well. And Ian Book probably doesn't scare anyone.
The Buccaneers play Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And Sam Darnold.
And Darnold.
I'm taking the Bucks. I'm
taking
going
the Bucks as
going
well.
Lockett and Bucks.
There's four
taking
interception upside there.
I'm taking Miami's defense for that reason, because either one of those two quarterbacks could easily throw 4 or 5 picks. And I will take Amari Cooper over Tyler Lockett.
Does Miami play the Jets today? Or?
No,
Miami plays New Orleans on Monday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going Bucks then.
Heineke, Josh Johnson, or Cam Newton in my semis, 2 QB league. Yes, I know I'm down bad. COVID screwed me. We just got done making fun of Cam Newton, and then the next guy asked whether he should start Cam Newton.
Might be the answer.
Are we picking one of these guys?
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
I'll go with Heineke. The kid tends to kind of sort of show up and play hard, so I'll go with him.
Heineke for me too.
Can't trust Josh Johnson, and I don't think Cam makes it through the whole game. They've already talked about Darnold getting some play.
Yeah, who do the Jets play?
They play Dallas. So Heineke plays Dallas.
Who do the Jets?
Johnson
I don't think
plays
does it ever matter who the
Bengals.
Jets play.
And then Josh Johnson came in that
Josh
one
Johnson
time
plays for
and he looked
Baltimore
decent.
now. He's on a different team than he was earlier when he started this year.
Oh, geez, he was on the Jets last I knew.
Right.
He's on Baltimore. He's starting for
That's
Baltimore.
right, because Huntley tested positive for COVID.
Yep.
And the
Now I'm
Jets
gonna
play
go
the
Johnson.
Jags, if you care.
I'm going to go Josh Johnson.
He can run too. You never know. He
Man,
fits that
when
offense.
When he went in for the Jets, like he really didn't look that bad. And I think Baltimore's a way better team. They like to run with their quarterbacks, and he might run for 85 yards today. Cam Newton might eat too, but he also might get benched before he gets there. So I'll go Josh Johnson.
So we've got Heineke versus the Cowboys, who are the
And their defense has been on a tear lately.
Seventh best versus the quarterback. We've got Johnson versus the Bengals, who are the 8th best versus the quarterback. And then we've got Cam Newton, who's just a bad quarterback.
He's bad at throwing. He's all right at
Plays
running the
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gives up a ton of passing yards, but they haven't really given up. I mean, I guess they have given up a decent amount, but
they haven't really played a rushing quarterback of significance either, other than Josh Allen.
What are the odds that Cam Newton starts the whole game? Like, I just
0.
don't see it. Yeah, I don't think
They're going to want to see what
literally 3 for. He's 2 for 2 on getting benched.
Yeah,
3 for 3,
and Sam Darnold's pseudo healthy, so they're going to bring him in to let him do something.
They need a quarterback.
Hell yeah.
They're terrible.
Good thing they picked up Darnold's option.
Heineke, I guess. I feel for you, Lost Odds.
Season.
Do what?
I think it's I'm going Josh Johnson. I like it this week.
I don't know if you're wrong. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Out of those options.
Josh Reynolds with Boyle or Laquan Treadwell with those targets? Leaning Treadwell.
Keep leaning.
Matt.
Yeah, I'll go Treadwell, but I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with the Lions offense. Sully.
You don't like it. We drafted Treadwell in the first round. I'm taking Treadwell, and I hate it, but I'm taking Treadwell.
I forgot about that.
Bryce.
It's hard to forget.
Treadwell.
Treadwell for me, too. At least Treadwell's got a floor. And we don't know.
Sorry,
the target.
though.
It's
I know
the
you're
target.
a big Reynolds fan.
Yeah,
this
and
guy
then
loves Josh Reynolds.
I say this, and then it's going to be the Laquan Treadwell 1 catch for 9 yards day.
I love Josh Reynolds, too. I have him on a ton of teams, but I just can't do it.
One more question. Pick 3. Barkley, Ronald Jones, Najee Harris, Madison, PPR.
I'm not doing. There's no way. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't play Rojo over Barkley. Just don't. I know you probably should, and people will probably have him ranked higher. Do not do it. I'm going Barkley, Harris, Madison. Don't play Rojo over Barkley. Don't.
Sully.
I would have Barkley ranked 4th on this list this week, but there is no way I am taking any of these guys over Najee Harris. He's going to bounce back after that turd last week. Bryce?
So you're benching Barkley?
Barkley would be my 4th choice of this
Okay,
group.
so you're benching Barkley because it's
is that the question? Sorry, bench.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am going Barkley, Rojo, Najee. Najee doesn't need to be out.
I thought you were thinking there for a second between Najee and Madison.
No. I was saying Najee never needs to be benched. Najee shouldn't even be in questions at this. Like, he is like Kamara. He's on that level of Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, where you don't have to ask him. He's in your life.
He killed a ton of people last week, though. So that's why he's on this list.
A lot of people are going to say that about Jonathan Taylor next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Barkley, Rojo, and Harris for me, sitting Madison.
So disappointing.
Komet or Schultz?
I don't start a guy just because of the name on the back of his jersey.
Fair.
Schultz.
Sully.
No.
Komet, easy.
I'm going to go Schultz. Bears offense with who's the quarterback this week?
Is it the Red Rifles?
Eagle legend?
Nick
Nick Foles. I will go with Schultz.
What happened to Andy Dalton?
He's
got a bad hand, and they found out he's Andy Dalton, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That happens.
I'm going Komet because of Foles. Because
exactly.
They're gonna have to throw, and we know that Foles isn't the deep ball thrower. And Komet's already been getting a lot of work over the past few weeks. They've been getting him more and more involved. From a PPR perspective, I'm going Komet.
Cowboys offense is struggling and everybody's healthy. It's really hard to pick Schultz.
Look at this question.
I have to bench one in a super flex. Who do I bench? AB,
Bill,
Diggs, or Lamb?
I don't really like you, Bill. All these other questions
Bill
we've been
at all.
asked today have been so bad, and then Bill comes in with
He's
three
like,
top 10 options.
remember when Matt was saying that if you're good at Dynasty, you have depth?
Holy hell, this question's brutal.
I'm going to sit.
I'm sitting Lamb.
kind of want to dig.
or Diggs,
Yeah.
but it's not AB. AB starting.
I hate myself for this,
Who do
but
the
I'm
Cowboys
sitting
play?
Diggs. I
No,
think
I'm not sitting Lamb. I'm sitting Diggs.
Jackson takes Diggs away, I think, today.
Yeah, I'm
Am I
sitting
right, Bryce?
Diggs.
Like I said earlier, they're not really good at stopping Diggs, but they're going to try. And out of these options, when you have these elite other options, yeah, you can afford to sit Diggs. You know, you start your studs, but these are all 3 studs. So I'm going to go again with the guys not playing the best pass defense in the league, but it wouldn't surprise me if Diggs put up 30. It seems like the only guy they can't stop, weather permitting.
You can't go wrong in this question, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they're all top 10 wide receivers this week.
Yeah. Actually, if we
Sickening.
never mind, I'm on the wrong page.
I think Bill just came in to brag.
PPR.
I'm
Yeah,
over.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. So according to the consensus rankings over at Fantasy Pros, we've got CeeDee Lamb as the highest rated at 8, Diggs at 10, and Brown at 11.
There you go.
And he's got. And how are you sitting these guys? Who are you? You must be starting Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, and Justin Jefferson.
And who you flexing?
Yeah, it must be
I
good
don't
life.
understand it.
Good
I
life.
don't like
One
Bill very
running
much.
back and 3 flexes.
Good morning, guys. I need 1 running back and 3 flexes. I got Javonte, Melvin Gordon, Barkley, Mixon, Michelle, Renfro, and Justin Jackson. All right, I'm starting Mixon. First off,
This is pretty much start 4.
It
Mixon's
is-
in for sure.
it is no question there. Mixon is in for me. I'm starting Javonte and Barkley and Justin Jackson. So Javonte, Barkley, Mixon, and Justin Jackson for me. Bryce, who you got?
I'm on the same boat, I believe. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Mixon, Barkley, Javonte, Justin Jackson. Yeah. Sully.
Mixon, Javonte, Jackson.
You hate on Barkley.
It's between Melvin Gordon, Saquon Barkley, and Renfro for me here. I will go with Barkley.
4 for 4.
Wow. I'm surprised we were all on the same page there.
I thought about.
I really
Renfro.
thought Sully was not going to pick Barkley.
I don't want to, but
I thought you put Renfro in over him.
I thought about
want
Renfro
to.
over Javonte,
but
but
I just
the more
think
I think
Barkley's-
about it,
Barkley's safer. Like Fromm has to give him the ball like 25 times this week just to save his own life.
Too late for me anyway.
Trey says full PPR. Swift is out. Should I play Duke Johnson versus New Orleans or Abdullah? Also gets 1 point per 10 return yards versus Tampa Bay.
Now, this is the kind of shit I like. None of this sit Diggs or Lamb or AB.
Right?
Yeah, bastard.
So, Sully, where are you
Yeah.
going?
I'm going to Abdullah. I think Duke Johnson was a pretty cool story, but we all know what New Orleans can do against the running backs. The game changer here is the point per 10 receiving yards because Abdullah returns everything for them, and he's involved in their passing game. So I'll go with Amir Abdullah. I'm not looking for a ton of either one of these guys, but Abdullah would be my choice.
He returns
Bryce?
kicks and punts.
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah, that's the only reason I'd pick him as well. Like without that, I'm probably going to do Johnson. So I'll agree with Amir Abdullah. Matt.
I don't buy the Duke Johnson love yet.
How can you?
He could be better than the rest of the Dolphins' backfield, but that Jets defense might be the worst rush defense in the history of the league. So I think just about anybody could go for 100 yards against them. I'm going to go Abdullah here, and I don't love it. Right.
I mean, how are you going to put me in this spot after 2 weeks ago, the big Abdullah ordeal where I said he's never the answer?
And you're probably the biggest Duke Johnson fan I know too.
Duke Johnson has the skill.
When I was betting on Abdullah, I envisioned this like 15-yard touchdown out in the flats, and that's what happened last week. And he got to like 15 points last week. He was a good play. Just didn't happen the week I bet on him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm going Abdullah. That New Orleans defense is not something to mess with. Look what they did to Tampa Bay and Aaron
Sully's
Rodgers
made me well aware of that. You don't play running backs against New Orleans.
Facebook user says, Vaughn, Conklin, Abdullah, Bryce, tell us who it is and tell us who you're picking.
Who is it, Matt?
And this would be me. You can also, I guess, for what it's worth, add James Washington to this, but I don't know that. Or not James Washington, even Hubbard, Chuba, is that an option? I don't know what to do. It could be Kelsey or it could be one of these bucks.
Conklin.
So you got Chuba and Abdullah.
This is one of the situations where I didn't have the depth I was referring to, Rick.
Shitty a dynasty he is. Go with Conklin.
Yeah, I like how you fucking called us out for not having enough depth in Dynasty, and then
I lose Kelsey, and these are my fucking options.
This question.
I had Fournette too. So
All right,
it was a rough
hypocrite.
week last week. Last week was rough.
Man.
It's 90. This is 96 v1, and I lost Fournette and Kelsey after last week.
That
It's
sucks,
not
brother.
Vaughn.
It's gonna be trouble.
It's not
No, it's
Vaughn
not
because
Vaughn.
he's so dependent on Rojo fumbling in our reality. And even if Rojo does fumble, how do you know they don't put Lev Bell back there just to block and potentially catch a couple?
It's not Lev Bell. Let's not go that far. Bye, Sully.
Sully.
Well, I'm just saying. I people were asking why I brought him in. I literally think they brought him in to block, like in case Rojo goes down, Le'Veon can block. He's a big back. I guess I'll go Conklin. I don't hate Abdullah this week, believe it or not. With Tampa Bay being pretty stout against the run, he might have a decent amount of PPR value this week. I guess if you need a ceiling, I'd probably go Abdullah because
You like
again,
him more than Chuba?
Yeah, Chuba does not have. I like Abdullah much more than him this week, just based on matchup. So, you know what? I'll go Abdullah. Rick. And I don't like him either, to be fair.
Bad.
I'm going Conklin. I'm going Conklin. I wish it was Vaughn.
I was gonna do Osborne, but with the Thielen news, I really can't do that. It's just not a good situation to be in. Sammy Watkins, like that's not really, is it?
So I still might start Osborne over those just because his ceiling I think is much higher even with Thielen in. We've seen it with all three of them on the field. In a game where they're likely to have to throw a lot, I personally might. I'm starting Osborne over Conklin, and if I'm picking Conklin here, then I'm probably starting Osborne. The All-Star Gamer says Lockett, Renfro, Jamar Chase, St. Brown, Gage, Michael Carter. Pick 3, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Jamar Chase, Lockett, lock them in.
Yep.
Gage.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on Gage is the last one.
I thought one of you was going to go Michael Carter, but I'm going to go Gage as well. I think Michael Carter could be the answer, but he didn't do anything this past
Can't trust
week.
the Jets offense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's by far the best back on that team, and I think he's going to be easily the answer a lot next year in questions like this. But until then, we'll sit back and wait. Gage has been very consistent and very good lately.
I got a question once we get everybody else's taken care of. We're going to have to pick her up here for these last few.
Oh, yeah, there's quite a few.
Azo says, you guys are fun to watch and listen to. Keep up the good work, fellas. Go Rams. Thanks, Alonzo. We appreciate you. Welcome back.
And then the next comment.
Castiel says, if only thing I ever know is to not listen to Sully in certain situations. Welcome back, Sully. This is what you come back to.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And Castile, now that you're a member of our team, put up or shut up, brother.
Yeah, I about threw up when I saw that stupid quarterback question in Discord. I'm like, really? Now that we get that question in Discord too?
Right.
Herbert or Rodgers? I don't know.
All right.
Flip a coin.
That's what I said. Flip a coin. I don't know what to tell you. Chris Berry, bit of odd scoring. Yards are devalued. Full PPR, 1 point per 20 yards receiving. DJ Moore or St. Brown or Emmanuel Sanders. DJ Moore. If it was golfing, then I probably go St. Brown versus Atlanta, but Tim Boyle is the guy.
Could be Sanders is
Moore.
on a couple of home runs, though, hey, with that 20-point. No, it's DJ Moore. Never mind.
Yeah. New England doesn't let up big plays very often.
I read that wrong. My apologies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's DJ Moore, but I agree. If Jared Goff is playing, I think I'm leaning St. Brown as well.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's not.
I'm going to go DJ Moore as well.
All of us there. Miami
Gotta hope
defense
Darnold
or
goes in.
Patriots defense? Defensive scoring weighs heavily in this league. Who is this, Bryce?
Sorry. I'll answer it. I'll go with Miami's defense, and it is Jeremy Goldie again.
Jeremy Goldie. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
going Miami's defense as well.
Yeah.
Same. Sacks and interceptions.
Matt,
baby.
are you with us?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my line. I'm trying to decide if I want to.
It's Miami's
I will
defense,
go-
Matt.
Sorry, guys. I'll go Miami. Yeah.
Thank you.
The Dazed Fool says, hey, guys, would you start or sit Darnell Mooney or McLaurin this week? So Darnell Mooney or McLaurin? Sully, you're shaking your head. Yes. Which one?
Yeah,
you
Terry
going?
McLaurin with Foles at quarterback. I think I'm gonna lean to McLaurin. I think he has a better upside and probably a safer floor. So scary Terry for me. How about you, Matt?
I would agree. I will also go McLaurin here. Bryce?
Yeah, they're pretty close to me, to be fair, but
They are.
I'll go with McLaurin.
Yeah, I'll just go with the guys here. McLaurin's more talented than Darnell Mooney. And Taylor Heineke is more talented than Nick Foles.
Wow, you sound so sad when you say that.
It is painful. Don't be an asshole about it.
I'm always an asshole. Why should I stop now?
Just read that the Saints are starting their fourth string QB. If this is true, would you take Miami over Bucks?
Yep.
Yes.
I went with the Miami originally because I knew this, and I will stick with Miami.
Yes, I think you three all went there, but did I go Tampa Bay? I don't even
No,
remember.
we
That's
all
how
went, we
close
all
it
went
was.
Miami. We all went
Did
I
we?
Miami.
thought somebody. No,
Yeah.
I thought somebody.
I'm pretty
else-
sure I went
thought it
Bucks.
was-
I think so.
Oh wait,
But
no,
I
I went Bucks. I went Bucks
That was-
here.
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
some
I thought
people took
it
the
was Miami against Pats. I went Bucks as well. Yep, Bucks.
Yeah, we both went Bucks, right? Versus Cam Newton
Yes.
and Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Four interception upside for sure.
Yeah, we don't even know, right? Ian Book could literally
He
throw
might just run the
12
ball the whole
times,
game.
and yeah, we have.
From
no
what I've
idea
heard,
what's
he's
gonna
like
happen there.
Taysom Hill. That's from what I've heard. So
He's
didn't-
not quite. There.
well, I'm just
He's not
saying
that
like he
mobile.
like. Well, I'm just saying he does run the ball a lot. is what
He
I'm
does
saying.
run
He's a-
more than Jameis Winston for sure.
Yeah.
I thought he was okay at Notre Dame, but I don't think he's anything to worry about.
No.
DK
Considering they
or
tried to lure
Amari?
Breeze out of retirement.
I mean, why are you gonna interrupt me?
That's what I do.
DK or Amari PPR? I'm projected to win by 30 if that makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Well, both of these players are basically in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
Not the highest floor, pretty high ceiling. Amari's probably got the highest ceiling out of the two. But where are you going with this, Matt?
I'm gonna go DK here. Feel a little more confident in him seeing 7-8 targets than I do Amari. What about you, Sully?
I think if I'm looking for floor and if I'm going to win by 30, I'm looking for floor. I think Cooper's a safer floor than DK is. So I'll go with Amari Cooper. If it was ceiling, I'd be going DK. Bryce?
I'm also going with Amari Cooper. There are reports, the squeaky wheel, like you mentioned earlier, he is not happy with his role. So I'm assuming with a star wide receiver like that, they're going to try and get him more involved. So I'll go with Amari Cooper.
I'm going with Cooper as well because, we know he can score 40 points in a week. He's done it this year. We haven't seen that from DK.
That offense is bad right now, though, for some reason.
Yeah, but they've also been off and on
It's
this
Dak.
year. They've been
Dak's been bad.
He has.
But I mean,
so's Russ.
they've had stretches where
True.
where they scored a bunch of points, and then other stretches, and then up and down. And but I'm going Amari, so I think we got 3 Amaris and 1 DK. Is that what I?
Yep.
What I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Facebook user half PPR running back 2, Burkhead Kelly Abdullah. So are we picking 2 or are we? Picking
I'm
1?
assuming this is his running back too. He needs to plug in.
Okay, so I'm going Burkhead.
Same.
Yeah, Burkhead.
Kelly. I'll take Josh Kelly over them.
Okay.
Ernesto says pick 1 PPR Van Jefferson, DK, Craig Reynolds, Jamal Williams. Pick 1, Bryce.
Metcalf.
Metcalf.
So
DK, but look out for Van Jefferson against that putrid Vikings secondary.
I'm going Metcalf as well. Adam Lean says Mixon or Patterson, Lockett or AB, half PPR. Matt.
Mixon and AB. So
Yep. Same.
Rather easily for me. Yep.
Yep.
Sweep
We're
it.
all on Mixon and AB here. Half PPR. Zoe says PPR, no premium. James O'Shaughnessy or Gerald Everett? Kelsey, ... Yeah, this is Gerald Everett easily for me. Anybody going O'Shaughnessy over Gerald Everett?
no.
Nope.
No, sir.
Nicholas Call says, hey guys, happy holidays. Would you start Emmanuel Sanders over DK since David and Beasley are both out? So he obviously meant Davis. Gabriel Davis and Beasley are both out. Also, how do you guys feel about Kamara and Justin Jefferson this week? I think I can speak for all of us that we would all love to be able to start Kamara and Justin Jefferson this week if we could. And then for me, I'm still going DK over Emmanuel Sanders fairly easily, even with those two guys out. Sully, I see you nodding.
I'm in 100% agreement. 100% agreement.
Yes, DK.
Matt.
Yeah, DK for sure.
Matt Brown Conklin. They yelled it at you.
Yelling at you.
Thanks, Rick Butts and team. Go Pack Go. That's Jeremy Goldie, and he's an asshole.
None of this Go Pack Go garbage. Beat it.
Josh Allen or Tom Brady? Tom Brady is my answer. Bryce.
Brady.
Sweep it.
I'll ask the experts who to start at QB. It's a desperate situation. Josh Johnson or Jake Fromm at QB today in a 1 QB league?
You poor bastard.
Josh
Johnson. And
So
Johnson,
this was-
and I feel your pain.
This was the question that I was going to have because I just was awarded Josh Johnson in the Grand Prix League. So Josh Johnson or Jake Fromm was my question as well, but I thought Josh Johnson was going to be who everybody went with. Need help, fellas. Pollard or Barrios? Half PPR.
Pollard. I got to run. I got to set a few more things up before we get these games kicked off. Good luck, everybody. I hope you do well, and I'll see you guys next week.
All right, slackers. See you later. Yeah, I'm going Pollard as well. I didn't even get to answer the question before he dip sauced. I do not want to start a Jets player if I don't have to in my semifinals.
He's a target hog though, but I'm not touching him.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, but yeah. Thanks, Sully. Who was that?
Should be everybody.
Who was it? Oh, Jeffrey Jacobs.
Jeffrey Jacobs.
He was the one that asked the Josh Johnson or Jake Fromm.
Oh, so only Sully gets thanked? We all said the same thing.
I know.
No, it's because I said, hey, man, I feel your pain. He's just being nice.
Oh, I missed that part because I try not to listen to you when you talk.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I'm obviously kidding. Sony Michel or Tony Pollard? PPR.
I'll go Sony.
Does Akers get any touches this week?
I don't think he plays this week. I don't think so.
I'll go with Sony then.
I think he comes into the playoffs.
They activated him, not just activated him from he's eligible to play, which typically
they activated him because he had to be active for at least 3 games to be playoff eligible. So that's why they activated
that's why.
him.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
he does not see the field. I don't know that rule. I don't think he sees the field today.
I didn't know that until yesterday either. In fact, I didn't even think you could activate a guy that you put on IR before the season started. So I learned a ton of stuff. So, but Sony Michel's taken that job for now, so it's him for me.
He's better than Darrell Henderson. That's why.
Yep, looks like it.
Yeah, you guys know I've never been a Henderson fan.
I told so many people that he would take that job eventually, and I was like, he's horrible.
Well, he didn't take. He didn't really take the job.
Well, if given the opportunity, I knew he would. He's always been okay. He's a solid second running back for any team, and Cam Akers was that team's first, and he comes in and better than the other second running back, which is Henderson. So,
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going Sony, but I don't love it. I don't love either. Sony. I feel like Dallas is going to throw all over Washington, though.
I think they're going to try. They got to get Dak going. Like to Bryce's point earlier, Dak's been bad, so they got to get him going somehow.
Yeah,
Amon-Ra or Mecole Hardman?
I'm on Ra by a lot.
With Tim
I don't care who
Boyle?
the quarterback is. Yeah, in this situation, I don't really care.
I'm going
Even-
Amon-Ra as well.
Yeah.
Where do Kelsey's targets go? Did they just run more?
I
Does he
think-
just run more?
I think their backup tight end is actually pretty decent. When he gets in there, he's okay. I mean, he's not going to see Kelsey numbers.
Their
but
backup
I think it
tight
goes to
ends.
him.
Doesn't he out too with COVID?
They're
No?
Fortson. I'm looking at Fortson. I think he's better than
what? Fortson's not even on their depth chart.
Who is he? I don't even know who you're talking about.
what? Yeah, he had a couple touchdowns
I
this year, though, didn't he?
I just looked at their depth chart this morning trying to figure out how to replace Kelsey, and it was Blake Bell and Noah Gray.
Noah Gray.
Oh yeah. No, maybe Noah Gray's the guy I was talking about. Jody Fortson was on there.
I just think maybe Hardman might be safer here with some jet sweeps and some dump offs, and I don't know. I'm
I mean, it's the Lions.
using
They're
Rick.
going to have to throw.
I am
They're
using
gonna
Rick's.
have to.
I'm using Rick's strategy, and when in doubt, take the better quarterback. So that's clearly Mahomes over Boyle. So I'll go with Hardman, but I don't feel great about either. Amon-Ra is the better player. That helps.
He is. He's a
I'm going Amon-Ra. I still think that he is going to just, command 30% of the target share. Even if we don't,
I don't
like who it's
disagree with
coming
that.
from.
For sure.
Maybe it's only 25. Don't hold me to 30. That's a pretty high
No,
number.
I wrote it down.
That's Brandon
30 it
Cook's
is.
numbers.
Not
Patty
this week.
says, pick one. Thielen, Lockett, Waddle.
Bryce,
Wow.
agree.
This
Lock
is easy for me. Woohoo! $5.
No, I'm not betting. I told you I'm done betting against.
Wow.
I like those two. Are
Put
real
your money
close
where
for
your
me.
mouth is.
Those two are real close for me. But I'm telling you, the Bears are depleted with COVID on defense. I'm
Then
going
bet the
with Lockett.
5. Then bet the 5. It's $5, Rick. $5 full dollars.
Okay,
If you
fine.
get a phone call with Gary V, you can bet $5. Thank you.
Wait, phone call with Gary V.
Then you get on a conference call with Gary V. Then you see you got
No,
selected.
I'm in a private text chat, Discord, with 40 people, and he's one of them.
Not so
That's
private
awesome.
anymore.
Oh, was I not supposed to say nothing? Sorry. We only have
Put me on
6
the
viewers.
spot.
We only have 6 viewers. We're all right.
Yeah,
We'll
but we
go
might
forward.
a million
That's
people
the
might
spirit.
watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take it down now.
Crop me
Devontae
out.
Parker, Amon-Ra.
Ooh, it's a little better. I'm gonna go
Park-
with Amon Ross. So
Parker. I don't like it, but it's Parker. Can't run on the Saints. Got to throw. Can't be all Waddle all day. 2 has been
Sure.
better. I'll go with Parker.
sure can.
I'll go Amon-Ra.
I like it.
Thoughts on Chase? I have AJ Brown, Tyreek, and Gage in my flex. So obviously AJ Brown got you off to a good start.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm
Are you starting
I'm still putting
Chase
Chase in my
over
lineup
Gage?
if I can.
I'm
Yeah,
starting
over
Chase over
Gage.
Gage all
Yeah, I
day.
am too. Yeah.
But I'm trying
I
to get
agree
all
with
4 of these guys in my lineup, though, if I can.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Gage has been heavily involved lately. Dodged a bullet. You got Tyreek. He cleared. So, yeah, I would try to
And
get them
Gage
all in
has
there.
Detroit, too, and that's just
That helps
juicy.
too.
By the way, that was Matthew, and this is Abhishek. I hope I said it right. Gibson, Damian Harris, or Justin Jackson, pick one. I'm going with Gibson.
Jackson.
I think I'm gonna go Jackson here. Dallas's defense is no joke this year. I'll go Justin Jackson.
I really think Jackson's top 10 this week against Houston with the volume I anticipate him getting.
Mike Gesicki or Noah Fant?
Gesicki for me. Albert O is a huge problem for Noah Fant, and I don't want to play much with Drew Lock at quarterback.
I am going to go Noah Fant because I think with Drew Lock, Noah Fant gets targeted more. He is they have a more of a connection than I think he had with Teddy Bridgewater. So
I don't disagree with that.
I think Noah Fant has his second best week this year.
Okay.
Raiders give up the 4th most points to tight ends.
There's 2 of them though.
Saints give up
True.
the 8th
That's true.
fewest points at tight end, and it's about half. So the 2 can half it and still average about what they give up. I'm going Noah Fant. I love Gesicki, but with Waddle and Parker healthy, I don't like it. Monty or Javonte Williams? It's Monty. Monty's probably a top 5 running back for me this week.
Agree.
Yeah, it's
I love them both. That's another one where I try to get them both in your lineup, but Monty for me.
And I don't know who this is, so we're just going to go ahead and block that. And that's it.
Cool.
That's it. Don't you like how we pushed it back a half hour?
And it still goes an hour and a half.
Slowing down, and we're still here for an hour and a half. But we love our people. We love our people. I do have questions now. So for me, if you guys got 1 second here. So obviously,
I got about that much time left. Go for it.
Josh Johnson over Jake Fromm.
Yes.
Okay, so that one I've got. Okay, so here's my other question. I've got Devontae Booker. I've got that's Jamal Williams easy. Now that we know that news.
Quick one for me. Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson?
Kirk.
I'm probably going Russell this week.
I think I am too.
Okay, so in my other one, I gotta check this. Okay, so we talked about Treadwell. Right now, I've got Hurts, Mixon, Antonio Brown, Gage, Hill, Lockett, Mooney, and Hunter Henry. Do I start Treadwell over Mooney for the safety? With Nick Foles starting.
Probably.
I guess so.
Is Allen Robinson playing today?
No, he's out.
No.
Is he? What now?
COVID. This dude checked out in July.
Yeah, he's done. He's going to be on a different team next year with a AJ Green-like role.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
I think he's way better than AJ Green, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got to bounce. Good luck this week.
See ya.
Yeah, got to go spend some time with the family. So thanks, guys. Take care.
See ya.
But
Thanks.
Treadwell has done. Oh, we can end this broadcast.
See ya, everyone.
See ya, everyone.